Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another Tierlist ranking video for you guys. Today I'm ranking Ben 10 villains who first appeared in Ben 10 Classic, but not so much their appearance in Ben 10 Classic, but more so their reappearance and basically them being used within Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, and basically just ranking when they came back after appearing in Classic and they now showed up here in Alien Force or Ultimate Alien. Are they being used in the same sense? Do I like them the same basically in Classic versus here? That's basically their ranking here. And once again, thank you, Ben 10 Theorist, for making this for me, because something a little bit different for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. So let's dive in, and we're starting off with Volcanus. Now, I'll be honest with you. Volcanus in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, I don't like him that much. I don't. Like, at first, I thought Volcanus was a true threat, and he is, in a sense, I understand. But when you really, like, when they really started diving into more to Volcanus and everything, it's like, it's okay. I'm going to go B, personally. I think they actually kind of hurt Volcanus' character, in my opinion, when they continued into Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, in my opinion. But that's just me. Maybe you guys feel differently, because I understand this show is goofy at times, and they were trying to go for that goofier route in terms of, oh, he's a menace at first, and he's deadly, but now things have changed. So, and I actually have a description. Let me actually read what was written for Ben 10 Theorist here. He was first introduced in the Galactic Enforcers episode where he and 6-6 worked together. In Alien Force, he was first seen again when he made a deal with Kevin. Remember that. He used his powers to get Crystal and later revealed to have a baby body. Yeah. But the more so as they continued on, it just made it worse. So, anyways, I'm going to guess it would be Eon. Now, of course, we all know Eon. He is the one character. He's actually not from Classic. He's actually from Race Against Time. So here's what I'll say. I think the reveal of Eon being an evil version of Ben or something in Race Against Time, that's like the one aspect of the villain that I thought, oh, that's very interesting. I mean, it's predictable because that's like, because you've seen that so many different times within shows that have that kind of concept or whatever. Like, they bring that in. It's like, oh, interesting, but I've seen it a million times. But I will say when they brought Eon back, it definitely was better. Now, it's a one-off appearance in terms of seeing Eon. So I think A is fine, because I think it's definitely better because they definitely improved, in my opinion, Eon, the character. So I will give it an A. I think that's fair. Because like I said, I think Volcanus, in my opinion, they definitely ruined and like made him worse. But yeah. A. Ghostfreak. I mean, no question. I'm going S tier. I mean, I think Ghostfreak to me is one of the best villains that Ben 10's ever made. The fact that they introduced him, of course, as a really creepy alien within Classic, and then he's the one alien that broke out of the Omnitrix, and then all the things they've done. Sure, it's not always been amazing, but his team up with Vilgax, or team up in Vilgax, holy shit, I was losing my fucking mind over that. And you guys saw that. If you saw that reaction, you knew I was losing my shit. You knew I was going to when I got to it, that episode. So S tier, no question. Ghostfreak is a 10 out of 10. Holy shit. Zombozo, a character I've got to give an S tier again. It's a one-off appearance. Now, Zombozo did appear for like a couple of seconds within the first episode of Omniverse, but Zombozo to me is one of those characters in Classic that I just wish they used him again, and they didn't. It was ridiculous. And of course, early on, I think it was like episode 3 or something of Ultimate Alien, they brought Zombozo into the mix, finally. I love it. Now, like I said, I wish we would have seen him more, but I'm only giving him an S because I just love the character, and I just love the fact they brought him back, but they made me wait for so long for Zombozo. They kept using his henchman or whatever within Classic after his one appearance. But man, I love Zombozo so much. So sorry but I'm being honest. Like, I love the character so much. I know people are something like, really? But I love Zombozo. Charmcaster. Everyone knows the joke, Charmcaster. Personally, for me, it's another S. No question. I think she is definitely one of the better characters that they have definitely elevated. I think Charmcaster was one of the better characters they introduced within Classic, but I think they actually made her better within Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. I mean, there was some pretty dark stuff, especially in the magic realm or whatever, and then she took over, and there was like some actual deaths, and so she sacrificed all those bodies and the souls basically to get her father back, and he was disappointed in her. Some dark shit, and I love what they did with her character, and the kind of, friendly thing back and forth with Gwen, not really. I think it was really interesting, and I really wish they would have maybe dealt more with that, but at the same time, if they would have spent too much time on her within Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, I think it would have maybe started ending up hurting her character. So I love her appearances, and it was so cool to see them elevate her. And I'm hoping we see her in Omniverse, because as I'm recording this, she's not appeared yet. I hope she does in some capacity. I don't know. Next up, actually, the reason why I had the list pulled up because I thought I was going to forget the name, but I have not. Driscoll. Driscoll was the, what was he like? He wasn't the Forever Knight. He was the Night King, or like Night King, or whatever he was. Like, I forget the name, but he was in Classic. He's the one who basically brought together the -10. Forever King. So I should have read from Ben 10 Theorist. Sorry, Ben 10 Theorist. I should have just read that. Like, what was the name? He was the Forever King at the end of the original series. After Enoch was defeated, he formed the -10, used the Plumber. Yep. And in Ultimate Alien, he came back as head of one of the factions of the Forever Knights. He was loyal to old George. Told the story about him. Yeah. Driscoll's fine. I'm going to give a B. I think Driscoll, like, there was so much potential with the Forever King in Classic. It's one of the actual weaker things, in my opinion, from Classic, is the Forever King and the -10 potential. Apparently this is like a big thing, I guess, discussed in the Ben 10 fandom, is that there's a lot of discussion around the -10 and the Forever King and how it was just kind of underutilized. There's a lot of people commented about that, saying, you know, there's a lot of discussion about how they kind of dropped the ball in terms of, like, because the Forever King was introduced, like, holy shit, oh my god, who is this guy? Like, you see, like, the armor and stuff, and oh my god, and then the idea of the -10, but it kind of is a letdown. So it's unfortunate, one of the lower points in terms of like what, like the potential, and then the unfortunate execution is definitely not there. But Driscoll for me is a B. Like, he's not really that important, and honestly, if you didn't tell me that was Driscoll, I might not remember, to be honest with you. So yeah, Dr. Animo. Personally, I'm trying to think, where do I put Dr. Animo? Do I put him S or A? Because I think they used Dr. Animo pretty well in, I'm gonna go A right now. I might change this when I wrap up the last two, but for me, I think Dr. Animo, peak wise, like, the best was in Classic. I think there's some great moments with Animo in Ultimate Alien and Alien Force, but it doesn't hit the potential. Like, there's some weird shit, but then again, Dr. Animo's a weird character, right? He's a very bizarre character, but I just feel like at times it was, I don't know, it felt like, well, we've already done weird shit, let's just keep doing weird shit. Like, it just, sometimes it didn't have to really make sense. It was like, oh, okay, well, he's just here doing this, da, da, da. And then this picture, he became a version of himself, like he transformed, or he basically evolved, but now he's back to his old ways again. So it's like, whatever, because of course in Omniverse he's back to being Classic, which, you know, Classic Animo, which is fine. But I think A's fair for Dr. Animo. I love Dr. Animo, but I feel like it wasn't the best. Vilgax. There's been a lot of people who had conversations about Vilgax over the time I've been covering Ben 10. Personally, for me, I think Vilgax still an S character, an S tier. I will say the one downfall that would put it in A, but I still have to go with S, is at a point it feels like Vilgax became a crutch, because Vilgax was used a lot. Now, at first, when Vilgax returned in Alien Force, ooh, holy shit, it was awesome. It was like, oh my god, he's here. But then over time, it's like they kept bringing Vilgax back, and I feel like they didn't need to do that. But I understood why, because at the end of the day, Vilgax is the ultimate villain of Ben 10. I understand. But at times, I mean, you didn't have to use them. I really feel like the Dagon, which I forgot that name when I was doing the actual tier list of the Ultimate Aliens and aliens, new aliens within Ultimate Alien that were introduced when I did that tier list. I forgot the Dagon, or Dagon, I think it's Dagon. The Dagon storyline didn't need to have Vilgax in it, I don't think, because you knew Vilgax was going to take over and he was going to become the Dagon. It just didn't need it. I understand the confusion, because when he was in the squid form, they confused him to be Dagon. But I think it was just a way to keep Vilgax in the storyline, to keep Vilgax in the mix. I just don't think it was necessary. But I still love Vilgax. He's still, like, amazing villain. So, yeah. Now, Kevin. Now, we're going Ultimate Kevin here, because that was something, I guess, because I think me and him actually had a discussion about this a little bit, about should we use Kevin? Because technically Kevin, yeah, he's a good guy, kind of an anti-hero in a sense within Alien Force Ultimate Alien, but we're going Ultimate Kevin, basically, where he became another, you know, monster, basically an amalgamation of aliens, and became evil again. Personally, we're going to go A for it. I think it was definitely an interesting turn. The one thing, and it wasn't so much Kevin, it was the fact that Ben just immediately went to, we got to kill him. He didn't say it like that, but we got to kill him. That's the one thing that maybe was trying to kind of jump the gun a little bit, but Ultimate Kevin was terrifying because how do you stop Ultimate? Because it all started with Agrigor and basically absorbing all of Agrigor and shit, and young Ben giving him the idea to do it. So it was all gonna be happening. It was all planned out. It was all kind of like the time shit. I don't know. Like it was all coming together. Like, and the thing was, what's his name? Oh God, the time guy. I'm forgetting his name. Doctor. I forget his name. But once I hear the name, I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the name. But he like even addressed it and said, you know what? Maybe you should like rely on your friends and make sure you remember who you are and all that. Like, it was all hints. But then it ultimately still ended up happening where we got Ultimate Kevin becoming the villain. Scary stuff, but it was really good, really good. And like I said, I'll start it because that young Ben came back in the mix. Like I love that episode so much. It was such a good episode. So yeah, so that's my final ranking here. Volcanus and Driscoll and B. I think that's fair. Eon, Dr. Animo, and Ultimate Kevin and A. I think that's fair. In S tier, we got Charmcaster, Vilgax, Zombozo, and Ghostfreak. That's a fair list. I think, at least to me, it's fair. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my ranking in terms of them being used in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien? Whatever thoughts you have, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.